So bought a fuel filters and one nut and fuel treatment, fuel filter, fuel filter. Okay. Well, apparently this guy, I bought 2 fuel filters and 1 nut, and the fuel filter, he forgot to put the fuel additive. Anyways, I'm not going back because I'm actually in the rain, people. Very excited. But purpose of making this video, real talk, something to think about it in reality in the trucking industry. Actually, I'm not so mad. It's just so frustrating. That is absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. I don't know any other way to call it. So I'm gonna MGC or MHAs, whatever it is. Kenworth. They're very big all over the place. So I'm gonna Jackson, Tennessee. And I heard the Kenworth was very high on their rate. And I heard the rumors like 125, 135, 150. I don't think I even heard about 150. So I was buying this fuel filters, and since it's after hours, it's almost 6. It's past 6. After hours, I was on a service desk till the guy was ringing me out looking for the parts. I asked him what the hourly rate is. I hope you guys ready for this. By hour. Trucking repair shops charged by hour, just like anybody else. $173 an hour. An hour. So let's think about that shit. Anything you come up to do, like anything, it's minimum 1 hour. And I never heard, maybe in some sort of specialized deal, like if you doing something special with the equipment, you will make same thing by hour by that truck. But at current time, you have to work 3 hours to pay for 1 hour of labor. The truck needs to work 3 hours to pay 1 hour of the labor. So if you run for $2 a mile, and you run 60 miles an hour, that comes out to be $120 an hour, correct? Yeah, $120 an hour. But minus fuel, you literally, not 3, I would say 2 hours you gotta work. That is crazy. That's way too freaking high, man. This damn trucking, the new trucks, people buying the brand new trucks, they not, the amount of dollars and amount of maintenance and everything else, way especially now everything went downhill, the trucks don't last as long. They need to be overhauled a lot sooner. The parts have went through the roof. I mean, through the freaking roof. They not, whatever you use the equipment for, it's not generate enough revenue to pay the person who operates the truck. It's literally the equipment at this point in time makes enough money just to cover his own operating costs. That's it. You can tell me all you want. Well, I ended up making $160,000 last year. Would you make netted after all your expenses, all your repairs, truck payments, interest payment, insurance payment, maintenance? I'm talking about truck wash, oil changes, tires, brakes, etc., etc. Ends up being way under. You end up working for the goddamn minimum wage, but $173 an hour for the labor in the shop. I wonder what the mechanics make. They don't make that. They don't even make half of that. Who makes that kind of money? Everybody else makes the money who supports it, who serves the trucking industry. But the trucking industry themselves has a hard time to supporting. You know, like now, I mean, you can go on and go on and go on. They talking about it, it's shortage of the drivers. No, it's not. It is. There isn't such thing of shortage of the drivers. It's shortage of paying drivers the right wages. Somebody, I always said there's lots of money in trucking industry, a lot. But apparently, not to own a truck, to serve the trucking industry. I think there's a lot more money into it. But that is crazy, man. $173 an hour, and I wouldn't have a problem with that. Let it be $200 an hour. But if they would make equipment more reliable, and in my personal opinion, since 2004 rolled in, equipment 2004 and newer, it become more unreliable. It's not as reliable as it used to be. When 2008 go in, they start producing trucks. It become even more unreliable. And if anybody doing the research on the new engines, the ISX 15, which is a badass red engine, it become even more unreliable. Because if you go on a truck paper, that's how I make lots of my research. There's lots of trucks for sale with the Western Star, Fredliners, Kenworth, Peterbilt. Explain to me one thing. At 350,000 miles, it's already had 50,000 miles on overhaul. How's that normal? It's not normal. They usually older engines, like let's say 12.7 or 34.6E model Cats, Detroit's, Cummins, N14. It was unheard of. I mean, very, very rarely you heard the engine fail at first 800,000 miles. It used to be million plus miles. I don't think there's any freaking red Cummins or anything else if it's in heavy duty, like not in severe duty, in the normal duty. We're pulling 80,000 pounds constantly. On average, let's say 70. They don't last that long. They just don't. 700,000 miles, they burns oil like crazy, and it's fucking wore out. That's it. Just, you don't, by the time you finish making your payments, you got wore out truck if you end up buying the brand new equipment. I don't know, I got literally very frustrated over 173 an hour of labor. What's next? It's every year keep going up. Next thing is going to be what? $200 an hour? And instead of $2 an average a mile, which that's basically going rate nowadays. Seems like everything else going up, but the rates on trucking going down. So when they're going to hit $200 an hour, we're going to hit $1.50 a mile. That is the future of trucking industry.